Hello, Quantas Activation Portal members. This month, June 2024, is a highly amplified month, an energetic month. And it also marks a shift for this community. For those of you that haven't met me yet, my name is Bree, and I'm going to be our channel today, our conduit today. In this transmission, what I am intending is that we bring through the high councils of light. I'm not going to specify a system today because I'm asking that, getting some new systems coming through, I'm already feeling. Ooh. Something just thudded upstairs, so we're on to something. All right, so for this transmission, I am intending that we will receive the activations and quantum information and data that will serve us in the highest good of all. I ask that this transmission be a timeless transmission, meaning that it will affect us in the highest good of all, no matter when we're tuning in to it. I'm asking that we be assisted to integrate these new high frequency light codes during this transmission. These are very high frequency, and so I ask that we as humans be provided with the geometries and templating necessary for us to be able to receive these codes without having our systems overwhelmed. All right, so I am now going to allow myself to, in my human framework anyway, take a settling so that my current ego structure does not influence the information coming through. So I just want to preface that you should not be driving or operating machinery when you receive this. This will raise your vibration. I'm just getting the information up front. Usually I get this information at the end, but each time it's different. So this is going to do quite a few things for us. And while I talk about this, you can simply find your space, maybe set your space, perhaps light some of your sacred smoke, whether that be Palo Santo, sage, incense. My field is currently integrating to this. I'm feeling it very much in my skin. You'll notice that in this community, you're going to receive authenticity. This isn't a act, if you will. All right, so this channel is coming through. I'm going to settle to the back and allow it to be channeled through. This is the High Council of Light that oversees our galaxy and our universe. Okay. So to receive this in the highest capacity, that will include a chakra healing and balancing. It will also just help you to anchor your frequency here more easily. You'll want to be seated or lying down. Some gentle movement, some swaying, tapping, maybe. I'm being shown that many of you will have light language. Reactivated, reawoken in this session. And that can mean, and you may see me doing this if you have your eyes open during this, although most of you will want to have them shut. All right, now I'm going to just settle in, take some breaths, and let it come through. To begin this transmission, we will be bringing through some light language to enable your mind to open enough to receive this transmission. Kiara niet taraki ie enanatike te eke. Kotoko kike kekena ete ngeke. We, the archangels, are now coming through the fields to balance and ensure that each frequency bandwidth can be in the receiving state. Your chakras are not just spinning wheels of energy, they are also portals into the many layers and dimensions of your soul. In scanning those consuming this message, some of you will have this integrated as a knowing in your consciousness, and some of you will only be remembering. But your body is not only, it is not the only house, we will call it, of your soul in representation across all of the cosmos. We like to use cosmos more so than multiverse, although in scanning your understandings of this, they are the same. The reason that we, the archangels, are worthy of your tuning and connection with is because we represent the 12 archetypes that find themselves in a form in this universe. And we are talking about the intelligent life forms on the planet. This does include animals, however, they have a different set of archetypes. For the human being, which is now in a state of hybridization and has been for, according to your timeline, roughly 1500 years. At least this version of human is what we are referring to. There have been many versions on this planet and other planets as well. But what will become very known on the planet Earth in 2024 is this access to the many layers of dimension within your consciousness field. For within the next 200 years, there will be civilizations leaving Earth, coming to Earth. It will be a very different mix of being, we will call it. And some of this will include some what you would only have the concept of knowing as an AI or a sentient machine, a robot, essentially. But these robots will be organic in nature as well. And they're not to be feared. We're only bringing this to your awareness because you being in this community means that you are one of the way showers, the mentors, the new earth architects and guiders, oracles, many of you, And it is important that you begin to have a relationship within your consciousness of all of these new forms of consciousness on the planet before they have taken root, because you are setting the templating for perceiving these new forms, you may call them, of being. So, as the archangels, this is what we established many, many eons ago in this universe, we will call it. All of us originate from source. You see, you and we have that common denominator. We, the archangels, are simply operating in all 12 dimensions, whereas in the human, you at least perceive yourself to only have access to the third to the fifth, we will say. In your dream time, many of you are accessing the fourth density or dimension. This is the playing center for your subconscious to process through fears before they become a hindrance in your everyday life. But dreams don't have to stop there. Your sleep time does not have to stop there. And in fact, many of you are receiving now this remembrance that your sleep time can be used very intentionally. You can use this extended period of time along the linear timeline of a day to work on the deep aspects you unveil through your consciousness during your waking hours. Perhaps you were scanning Bree for an example. She's worked in her sleep time very heavily, so she's not needed to be specific. We're looking for one. So let's say that you are looking to grow the amount of souls that you're reaching with your healing faculties, whether this is through energy healing or channeling. Maybe you just consider yourself a writer or an artist. We're allowing many of your dreams to be reactivated. I am coming in a little bit more to help explain what's being downloaded now, so that we can, the archangels are just showing me that I'll have a better way of breaking this down than they can, having not been informed. I'm being shown these many new archetypes of human that are reawakening on the planet now. These are, for many of you here, you're reactivating qualities that you have embodied in other forms or incarnations that are very innate and natural to you, but based on the societal norms on the planet up to this point, you suppress those natural qualities. So they're showing me that many of you are going to take on this role of awakener, where I'll just explain this. The awakeners are going to awaken not through an explanation of what they're experiencing so much as just your beingness. So you will very much energetically awaken those around you and those who exchange with you without having to go into the depths per se of what's going on when it comes to story or context. Yes. So that is a very new archetype that many of us here in this transmission are going to house. And then there's another archetype of artist. Try to explain this one now. And some of you are going to feel sensation in the body because this is really going into the cellular memory of your physical body, not only your consciousness or your essence or soul, but it also has to do with the design, the archetypes, the even skill sets that are embedded within your physical body from all of the beings that assisted this body to bridge and be here now. So these artists are, I'm showing a shift for the archetype of the artist on the planet, where the last, they're showing me 22 to 2,500 years, art was about processing what they're showing me as pain. And this new archetype of artist, this archetype of artist has very much processed their pain and the collective pain. And so it's going to be a shift in the art now becoming more based in emanating essence. So living art, and not just through digital means, although that is present. But yes, living art pieces is what I'm being shown is going to be created, where the materialized art is a beacon, a bridge to other dimensional states. And they're showing me this has been coming in for they're showing me the 1500s or so. That's when it started to come in, this form of art. Allow this to just be received by you in your own way. Now I'm just being given this understanding that as we're evolving the consciousness on the planet, and whether you know that that's part of your mission or not, it's what you're doing. Much of this is calling our creatorship back within the people, not only the people, but the collective consciousness. So the collective consciousness is going to take on a new form. And it's going to show up in form as these different archetypes, similar to the archangels. There's these new archetypes that are going to be popping up. We talked about the awakener and the artist today. And there's many overlaps between those two archetypes, as there will be with all of them, and as there is with the archangels. It's a roll. It's a container. And it's not set as a blueprint that you may think of would be. It's very in flux. This is interesting. They're giving me a visual now. So strange. But for those of you that have seen the movie Adjustment Bureau, there's these basically angels, and they have these books that show these destiny patterns and how they're always reshaping and shaping and reshaping. And that's the closing message that the light beings want to bring through, because this was very high frequency. And we're in the month of June, but not just the month of June. We're being very activated. You participating in this is assisting you to anchor what your soul knew you would receive at this time on the planet. So you see, by participating here in this community, by being present during these transmissions and allowing this healing to flow through you to be a conduit, yet another conduit of this beautiful new eminence that we're birthing on the planet. You're making it more available to every single being, not just here on Earth, but everywhere, throughout the cosmos. So yes, when you step away from these transmissions, you will feel lighter, more in tune, more conscious of your soul's frequency here in your body. But what you may not be aware of is that you affect the all in doing this. So every being anywhere that is suffering has now had their suffering released through the work you do within yourself. We're also getting a message that through meditation, through journaling, through inner settling, through the ability to transmute stressful situations, maybe painful situations, each time you do this, you're allowing for the cells, the structure of your body and your energetic field to be this beacon, is what they're showing me. And they're also showing me now this just web. And yes, they're saying it's important that I share this. Around 2008, I, Bree, was given a visual. I was in college, the University of Iowa, and I chalked up this visual to just that I had been using Mary Jane. But that was simply a door opening for me to see what I saw, which was this web of consciousness around the earth. And that was the first time that I received this galactic connection, this reopening of my third eye and divine portals. And right now, that's what we're doing, is we're a web of consciousness around the planet. And Mama Gaia beneath us, the being, the living, feminine Christ consciousness being that we are living within, is shifting in dimensional frequency. The matter, the particles that consist of Earth and that live on Earth are all being upgraded. And it's a very, very vast shift that has an accelerating period from 2024 to 2028. A necessary accelerative period. And it is important that we, as the way showers and light workers, and they don't like that, they don't like the term light worker. That's funny. Who wants to know why? I want to know why. Let's find out. Let's find out why they don't like light worker as a verbiage. They're showing me they would prefer lighthouses because work is loaded, what they're showing me. It's a word that we're realizing is very linked with powers that were, they used work as the means to control us. So we all have a bit of a, they're telling me that we all have some healing to do around the word work. And then they're also showing me that the way we serve best is always through overflow. So that is why it's important that you're here in this community, because, and it's a great reason for me to have this community, because we're always being reminded that we can't pour from an empty cup. We need to ensure that we are fulfilled and overflowing. And when we're overflowing, our energy alone, our presence alone, our being here alone is enough to affect the all. So it truly needs to begin with us filling ourselves up. And as this channel is closing down, yes, we're having all the Akashic records closed, all the energetic fields landed, secured, grounded, anchored. Your bodies are now being anchored and lovingly embraced with the essence, eminence, brightness of your soul. We are complete. Your energy is staying with you. My energy is staying with me. So I will just close with this reminder that many of you here have an archetype that includes this aspect, I'll call it, where your mind needs candy. It's mind candy. Some of you may be familiar with Dolores Cannon. But as we are here in the human, and we're spiritual beings that are also having expanded consciousness states, call them altered states, what have you, it helps us to have these mind candy elements like the Quantas, and maybe you listen to some other light bringers, lighthouses transmitting, and you're a lighthouse and you're transmitting. It just helps us to really anchor the humanness in all of this. Yeah. So I really, truly hope that this community serves you in the very highest good of all. That by participating in these sessions each month and more coming up, this has been a ramping up 2024, and I'm planning on doing many lives here and also bridging some of the starseed activations, beautiful souls, over here as well. This is a journey for me to figure out, what I know, what words and concepts and themes are resonating with me. But I also want to know what is resonating with you. So I encourage you to leave a comment of anything. Maybe you got a visual, it doesn't make sense to you, or maybe you just got some. I often see spirit animals and sometimes just scenes while I'm channeling the information. So you may get some of that too. And what's really cool about this community is that I am very much just as much a participant, and we're all on the same level here. We're co-creating this. We're all acting very much as conduits to bring the information through. So I am not here to be I will do my best to facilitate mentorship and leadership, and to, share what I'm learning, remembering with you. But there is no hierarchy here, and there never will be. So if you want to explore your gifts, and maybe you want to get into a conversation where we're channeling together or something of that fashion, that mold, that expressionary form, I suppose, art form, let me know, because I would love to really have more than just me being the bringer of the light here in this community. I want us to all be bringing the light, and I will always do the best I can to facilitate a channeling, receival of the information that you would have a question on. But caveat, I also need you to know that all of the information that is necessary for you to receive, as it pertains to you and your personal life, all of those answers can be provided by your higher self, your soul. And you can tune into this on your own. You may feel this sensation that it's more accessible after one of these, and that's great. You can use springboards. You can use amplifiers in your space. That's what crystals are. That's what oracle cards are. That's what you're journaling. These are all tangible, material anchorings of these spiritual experiences. So I hope that you enjoy it here. I hope that you really find treasure here, and all the while knowing that treasure is you, and you have the ability and the access to everything that you could possibly have curiosities on about you and your soul makeup. Now, if you want to get fun and spicy about the cosmos, and you want to find, and you're very curious like I am, and you want to ask some hard-hitting questions about the cosmos and how these higher dimensional beings interplay with us, and so on and so forth, that's the kind of question I would really embrace here in this community. I just wanted to make that differential only because I never want you to perceive me as the guru or the holder of the answers when it comes to you, your life direction, your soul. We can always have a one-on-one session and we can go to depths, but inevitably I will always be, and the guides will always be, the spiritual guides, our highest Christed spiritual guides, they'll always be guiding us to discover what it is that's lighting up our highest excitement within our heart. So I just wanted to lead you, guide you, steer you back within you, because that's really one of the core pillars of the Quantas. Just leaving that right there. And I encourage you to share this so you can really grow this community and get active in the comments, because it's just getting started. This is like infancy right now. So imagine where we can soar together. I love you all. Namaste.